Although the NBA is traditionally associated with tall men, there have been many much smaller players who have made their impact in the league. What they lacked in inches, they more than made up with their talent. Here are some names of shorter players that left their indelible mark on the NBA. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to get the latest updates. Let's get started. Number 8. Wat Masaka. Although he did not play many NBA games, 5 feet 7 inches Wat Masaka was a trailblazer, becoming the first player of Asian descent to wear an NBA team jersey. A second-generation Japanese-American, Masaka grew up in an era of virtual apartheid. Local restaurants would not serve his family, and neighbors would cross the street to avoid him. Despite many Japanese families being interred during the Second World War, Masaka continued his education and helped the Utah Utes win the NCAA championship. He joined the New York Knicks, but was cut because they had a surfeit of guards in their team. He was later given an offer to join the Harlem Globetrotters, but turned it down, instead pursuing a career as an electrical engineer. Number 7. Keith Jennings. In 1991, Jennings, who was 5 feet 7, won the Francis Pomeroy Naismith Award, given annually to the best senior player under 6 feet in height. Not selected in the NBA draft, he began his career in the league as a free agent and would go on to play 3 seasons with the Golden State Warriors. He played 164 games in all. Averaging 6.6 points and 3-point assists in 18 minutes per game. In 1995, he was selected by the Toronto Raptors in the expansion draft, but never played for them, instead going to have a successful career in overseas basketball. 6. Greg Grant. The 5'7" point guard had an unusual route into professional basketball. Product of a broken home, Grant was working in a fish market when he was discovered in a local playground. He enrolled at Trenton State College and led the scoring charts in Division III. Selected 52nd in the 1989 NBA draft by the Phoenix Suns, he spent 9 years in the NBA with 6 different teams. He returned to Trenton after he retired, coaching their high school team before running a sports academy. 5. Red Klotz. Klotz, who was 5 feet 7 inches tall, has several claims to fame. He is the shortest player ever to feature for a team that won a championship. In 1948, his Baltimore Bullets side won the Basketball Association of America title. He then became better known for forming the teams like the Washington Generals and the New York Nationals that earned a highly lucrative living touring with the Harlem Globetrotters. He would later insist his teams tried to win every game against their all-star opponents. He became the first non-Globetrotter to receive the Legend Award. In his professional basketball career, which spanned 8 decades and took in over 100 countries, he coached or played in over 14,000 games. 4. Spud Webb. Among Spud Webb's claims to fame is that he was the shortest player ever to take part in an NBA slam dunk contest, winning the event in 1986. That brought him to national attention. And he garnered numerous lucrative endorsements off the back of it. However, he was no novelty act. Despite being only 5 feet 6 inches tall, he enjoyed a long career in the NBA, playing first for the Atlanta Hawks and later the Sacramento Kings, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Orlando Magic. That was not bad for a kid who had been told that he was too short to play basketball when he was growing up. During the 1994-95 season, Webb led the league in free throw shooting, with a conversion percentage above 93%. He got his nickname Spud from his grandmother. When he was born, she thought his head was misshapen and looked like the old Soviet satellite Sputnik. This was later shortened to just Spud. 3. Melvin Hirsch. Hirsch held the distinction as being the shortest player in NBA history for years, before Earl Boykins and Muggsy Bogues came along. The 5'6" point guard joined the Boston Celtics in the 1946-1947 season and played 13 games in all for them, averaging 1.5 points and 0.8 assists per game. The team, though, did not perform well that year. They finished 22-38 and tied for the last in their 6-team conference. 2. Earl Boykins. The second shortest NBA player ever at 5 feet 5 inches, Boykins was never officially drafted by an NBA team. Instead, he signed a succession of short-term contracts with 5 different teams.
La sera successiva contro Philadelphia 39%
until agreeing a multi-million-dollar deal with the Denver Nuggets ahead of the 2003-2004 season. He became the shortest person ever to score more than 30 points in a single NBA game. Although it took him some time to settle, he became a very productive player, averaging nearly 15 points per game by the middle of the 2000s. Boykins had a spell in Europe with Virtus Bologna, becoming the highest-paid player in Italy at the time, and helped his team win the Euro Challenge Cup. Number 1. Muggsy Bogues. Tyrone Curtis Muggsy Bogues has the distinction of being the shortest player ever to play in the NBA, standing at just 5 feet 3 inches tall. He enjoyed a 14-season career in basketball's top league, finishing with the Toronto Raptors, who retired his number after his last game. Originally drafted by the Washington Bullets in 1987, he would also play for the Charlotte Hornets and the Golden State Warriors. Despite his lack of inches, Bogues averaged more than 10 assists per game in 2 seasons, and during his time with the Hornets, finished in the top 7 in assists in the entire league in 6 consecutive years. He also had 140 career NBA double-doubles. His autobiography was appropriately titled In the Land of Giants. At one stage during his time with the Bullets, he was part of the same team as Manute Bol, meaning that the shortest and joint tallest player in the history of the NBA shared a court together. This was our list of the shortest players in NBA history. But of course, you may be furious about the name we missed. Well, let us know in the comments below. How would you rank the shortest players in the NBA? And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.